Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Science Terminology. Today, we are going to be talking about cancer and what all that is. For those of you who are uninitiated in the ways of, medicine and whatnot. And like it says down here, this is going to be kind of a case study in uncontrolled cell growth, which is what most cancers are. Not all cancers are uncontrolled cell growth, but a very large portion of them are. So we're going to talk a lot about that today. So, what do cells do? Well, cells grow and they replicate in a cycle. Okay, and when cells gain enough raw materials to grow and split, they will create an exact copy of themselves, and that process is called mitosis, and it's a natural part of a cell's life cycle. It does this many times during its lifetime, and there's a little diagram right here, right there. As you can see, that's all the different steps of mitosis, and that's how cells replicate themselves. And here's kind of a summary of how that process works. Cells are going to start in G1, which is growth. So they're going to kind of get larger, get all the materials they're going to need, right? Because they're going to be splitting into two equal size cells. So they need to basically double in size or almost double in size. Then they're going to copy their DNA in the synthesis phase. They'll grow a little bit more and kind of get everything ready for mitosis, and then they'll actually divide. And then the cycle can start over again. And that's pretty much how cells work. Now, eventually, cells will stop replicating. If the body no longer needs more cells, if they don't need to split anymore, they will send a signal to say, nope, we don't need to do that anymore. You can go ahead and stop replicating. This stop signal normally will stop the cycle, right? And then keep the cell in kind of like a waiting state until replication is necessary again, right? So it'll just keep going about its business, doing its stuff until it's like the body's like, hey, we need you to divide again. Well, if now the cell does not receive this signal, it can continue to replicate forever. It'll just continuously do this over and over and over again until it receives that stop signal. Now, that's not great. Okay, when cells continue to replicate without being regulated or stopped, that's when tumors can form. And so tumors are really just these large clumps of cells that continuously grow and replicate, or they don't die off when they're supposed to, right? Cells are also supposed to die off if they're getting too old or whatever. There's like a program in your body for that. So older cells can be scrapped and recycled. So if that doesn't happen the way it's supposed to, right, these tumors can grow and they can be either benign or cancerous. Benign means that they're just kind of there. They don't have any necessarily a negative effect on you. And then cancerous, that means that they invade other tissue and spread throughout the body. Those are the bad kind. You don't really want to have benign tumors in you, nor do you, right? But if you have a cancerous tumor, that's not good because it's going to continuously do this and spread throughout your body. So that's not a good sign if it's doing that. So this is kind of a diagram. It's very blurry. I can see that, but this is kind of how tumors form. As you can see, they're going to kind of form in this underlying tissue where the cells continue to replicate. And then what happens is a blood vessel might kind of grow into the tumor because it needs supplies to continuously grow. And then if that happens, cancer cells can break into the bloodstream and travel throughout the body, which is really bad. That's when cancer cells travel and grow in other places. And that's when you get fatal diagnoses when you have cancer, right? When it's in multiple places. So what can cause this to happen? Well, there are many different things that have been linked to cancerous cell growth. Oftentimes, though, all these sources have one thing in common. The DNA in the cells is either altered or changed to stop this on-off signal from happening. Other times, the mechanisms within the cell that allow the on-off signal to reach the nucleus are damaged, and that would also result in cancerous cell growth, right? So really anything that interrupts this on-off signal or interrupts the programmed cell death that keeps old cells from sticking around, those are going to cause cancer. Here are some common cancer-causing agents, things you might already kind of know about: UV radiation, tobacco, alcohol, viruses, obesity, certain chemicals, and then, of course, aging also can help bring about cancer. When your body ages, it struggles to continue to regulate itself, and therefore you have a higher chance of getting a tumor. because your body's just not up to the task of regulating its cell growth anymore. Got some resources. I went on Britannica and then, of course, Wikipedia. Like I've always said, Wikipedia is an excellent source for scientific information. Right? Make sure there's always a resource next to it, or if it's cited, and you can find what you need to do there. Thanks again for watching. I hope that you subscribe and follow the channel so you can learn more about all the different things I'm sharing with you. And we'll see you next time for some more scientific terminology. Thanks so much for watching.